This podcast is not a substitute for a relationship with a mental health professional. Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of the Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast with your girl, Andrea Wise Brown. I am so excited once again, to be here with you today, family. I am so excited. I get so hype when I can just sit here and just talk to you, just empower you. Like, I live to do that, because the truth is that you were born to freaking be amazing. You were born to freaking soar. You were born to be amazing, to have all that you desire. However, life stuff gets in the way. A lot of your family of origin trauma gets in the way. All that stuff just gets piled up on top of you. And so I'm your girl. I'm here to pull that stuff off, to pull it off of you so that you can rise and you could soar like the king and the queen that you are. So, listen, I'm lit when I'm here. Okay, lit. All right. Figuratively, or not literally, but figuratively. Okay, so today the message is boundaries, setting boundaries. Ask yourself, are you setting boundaries? Are you setting boundaries with the people in your life? Are you setting boundaries in your workplace? Are you setting boundaries with your coworkers? Are you setting boundaries with your boss? Are you setting boundaries with your friends, with your family members, your siblings, your mama, your father, your grandparents? Okay. Are you setting boundaries with your aunties, your uncles, your cousins? Are you setting boundaries? I call boundaries lines of love. They are lines of love, because boundaries can keep you safe with love. Because I really do try. I'm really intentional about trying to do everything with love. Peace, honey, in love. So boundaries are lines of love that can make your life very peaceful. So let me just tell you, before I tell you how to do it, I just want to tell you the benefits of setting boundaries. Setting boundaries enhances your mental health and well-being. So, maybe you don't know, maybe you haven't heard an earlier podcast, but I'll tell you here today that the anxiety disorders and depression diagnoses, anxiety diagnoses, and disorders are on the rise every day as we speak. And so setting boundaries can be one of those coping skills that can put your anxiety back in its place, back down the scale. You remember I taught you about the anxiety scale? It can take that anxiety back down the scale. And then depression, or your low mood, or your sadness can go away. And it does not have to turn into depression. Setting boundaries is a powerful coping skill. And I'm going to teach you how to do that today. But one of the benefits that I mentioned is to enhance your mental health and well-being. Another one is to avoid burnout. Do you know how much burnout occur by not having boundaries? You want to know why? It's because they say yes to everything. Yes, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can be there. Yeah, I can go do that, over and over and over again, night after night, day after day. Yes, yes, yes. Honey, too much, too many yeses. No is a bad mamma jamma. The word no is a bad mamma jam. And it's a short word too. N-O. 2 letters. It's bad, honey. It's bad, baby. It can take you a long way. No. You're going to learn how to say no. You're learning today the importance of saying no. All those yeses could have you incurring burnout. Burnout is when you are stressed and you just can't handle life anymore. You just can't handle work anymore. You can't handle your family anymore. You can't handle parenting anymore. You can't handle, like just all these little things, can be impeded when you get burnt out. Burnt out, meaning I just keep on burning and burning and burning for everybody else, but yet I'm not taking time for myself. Set boundaries. And then the last benefit I'll just tell you today, there are many other benefits, but I'm just sticking with these 3. This last benefit today is going to be, it helps you, setting boundaries help you to develop independence. A lot of times we will be caught up in a situation of saying yes, and I'll do it, and I'll give it, and I'll answer it, and I'll talk to you. And you do all of those things because you're afraid to be independent. You may feel the need to be dependent on these people in your lives, or be dependent on the workplace, on wherever it is that you work. You may feel like you are dependent on some family members, like I need them in my life. I'm afraid that if I say the words no, that they'll leave me and I'll be alone. I better not say no. I better not say no, because I am dependent on maybe these relationships. And the assumption is that if I say no and choose to take care of myself by saying no, then maybe they'll leave. Maybe they won't be, maybe they won't love me. Maybe they'll think I'm a horrible person. Maybe they'll think I'm a butthole. I don't even know if I can say that on here. Can I say but? Because there's so many other words that I want to say on here, but I'm thinking that, like, I don't know that you can say curse words on podcasts. I don't know. And YouTube, not sure. But anywho, I can be creative. The 3 benefits to setting boundaries is to enhance your mental health and wellness, to number 2, avoid burnout, and number 3, to develop independence. Now, what does it even look like, Andrea? How do I? Because yes, I am tired of my sister calling me all the time, asking me to watch her kids all the time. Or I'm tired of my brother always calling me to ask me for money. Or I'm tired of my girlfriend or my boyfriend always expecting me to just, I don't know, wash their clothes or give them money or go take care of their parent, their loved one, or to go over a parent's house, or I'm so tired of my kids expecting me to run them over here, to buy them the most expensive things, or maybe I'm even tired of my friends calling me, expecting me to spend more money for this birthday party, to spend more money for that birthday party, to spend more money for this baby shower. Like, I don't have no more money. I'm at burnout. So teach me, Andrea, this is good. How do I set boundaries? And Andrea's going to do that. I'm going to do that quickly. So first, this is what I need you to ask yourself, because you've learned the benefits so that you know that this benefits you to set boundaries. And I also taught you that NO is a powerful word. Yes, it is. N to the O is a powerful word, right? So I want you to start practicing using it. But here we go in this context. So the first step to setting boundaries is I want you to do an assessment. Every time you say yes and go to do something, all those things that I already talked about. I ain't going to keep saying them over and over again because they make me lose my breath. But all of those things, I want you to assess, how do they serve me? How does me saying yes all the time to all of those things, how does it serve me? How does it serve me? Then you may come to the place where you go, well, it doesn't. It don't serve me. It just serves them. It just serves my mama. It just serves my cousin. It serves my siblings. It serves my man or my woman. But it serves my friends, my coworkers, my boss. But that ish don't serve me. Oh, so this is good. We on the right path. So if it don't serve you, then you're going to decide, well, what boundaries are actually needed? And you do this by trying to see what those things are that does not serve you. So if working on the weekend doesn't serve you for your job, okay? If it doesn't serve you, then you're going to have to back that thing up and say, well, listen, what did I sign up for? What was my contract? How many hours am I supposed to put in work? And then when I see that it doesn't serve me because it's impeding on my family time, my time with my man, my time with my girl, my time with my children, then I have to say, okay, the boundary that I could put here is I will work my behind off Monday through Friday. But after whatever o'clock said o'clock, I'm done. I'm shutting down and I am not working anymore. Because I will tell you this, and I know this for sure, in any industry, boo, if you burn out and you lose your ish and you can't work that job no more, what do you think they're going to do? Do you really think they're going out of business? Or do you think they're going to find somebody else that they can burn out? Honey, they just going to move you. I don't even know if they're going to Lysol your chair when they start to hand you your stuff at the door and turn it around and tell you, see you later. It was nice having you. I don't even know if they're going to Lysol your chair for the next person that's going to come and sit in it. So, come on now. Know your worth. If you are in contract to work for this company and to provide services with whatever it is, then as long as you're within your contract, you set your boundary at the end of that contract. So I don't know from what time it is to what time it is. So you have to decide what the boundary is, what boundary is needed. So remember, number one is to do an assessment of what serves me and what doesn't serve me. Then when I realize what doesn't serve me, now I have to decide what boundary is needed here. And the example we just went over was you needed a boundary at work. You needed a boundary at work. So therefore, you realize, okay, this is the boundary that I needed. Another boundary could be that you have friends or family who call you and they're always calling you and wanting to talk to you. Well, you already told me you're so busy at work. Then you have a husband, you got kids, or either you have a wife and you have children, right? And so how much more time do you have? You've given time talking to your friends, but sometimes it can be too much, or to your family, it can be too much. So now, is it serving me to always answer the phone and have these conversations that don't serve me, but only serve this person at any time that they call? Does it serve me or does it just serve them? Okay, so now I've realized it don't serve me. I want to talk to them, so I just have to figure out when is the best time that I can talk to them so that I can be present. So there you go. That's the next step, which is deciding what boundary is needed. So for this issue, the boundary that's needed is, I have to figure out some time in my schedule when I have the capacity to talk to whomever this person is, family, friends, doesn't matter, loved one, does not matter whom it is, co-worker, doesn't matter. When do I have enough capacity and time to talk to this person? Because I still have to give energy to my work. Because I remember I'm signing off at said time on Friday. Then I have to give enough time to give to my children. Because remember, I'm working my butt off and I'm cutting off my time then for my husband or for my wife. So when can I fit this time in? And that's how you're deciding what boundary is needed. I'm deciding that I have to create a boundary. A boundary meaning I can't talk to you this time, but I can talk to you at this time. All right, so that's the second thing. The third thing is to commit. The third step is to commit to the boundary. Boundaries don't make any sense, and boundaries do not serve you if you do not commit to the boundary. So for me to sit here and tell you I'm only going to take said phone calls on Saturday from 7 and 8. That's it. So whatever phone calls that I can fit within that time, those are the calls that I'm taking. And then Saturday roll around and the phone start ringing at 6. And now I'm picking up the phone at 6. And I'm texting at 6. And then I'm still on the phone from 6 to 7, 8, 9, 10. That's Saturday. Then on Sunday, I'm picking up the phone because somebody called me at 9 because I'm thinking they might have a problem because I'm kind of dependent. What am I dependent on? I'm kind of thinking that they got a problem and I got to be the one to talk to them, or they may have some needs, or somebody might need a ride to the supermarket, or somebody might need to borrow some money. So I need to answer the phone. You need to commit because you aren't committed to your boundaries. You are important enough to commit to your boundaries. You are worthy to take care of yourself. You are worthy to commit to your boundary. And then this is what I would ask you to do is to ask yourself, because this is the fourth step, what do I fear? What's my fear? So if I don't lend the money, if I don't answer the phone call, if I don't take said person to the supermarket, if I don't whatever, then what's my fear? That they'll leave me? What's my fear? That I'll be alone? What's my fear? That they'll talk about me? What's my fear? That I'll be a bad person? What's my fear? And then when you assess the fear, the next step is asking yourself, is that fear factual? That's a powerful step. I'm going to do a whole show on that. Asking yourself, is that fear a fact? Is it 100% true? If I don't take Aunt Sally to the Walmart, she's going to hate me forever. Do I know that to be 100% true? Well, I do know Aunt Sally is shady as I don't know what. So she might talk about me. She might say something. But do I actually know that she'll hate me for the... No. Maybe 20%. She may low-key hate, but 20%, not 100. So it's not a fact. Let it go. Pop it. When you realize your fear and you ask yourself, you do some fact checking, do I know this to be 100% true? And when you find out that within yourself, you realize, do reality testing, fact checking, that it's not true, let that thought go. Go back to your commitment. Go back to your commitment. Let the fear go and go back to the commitment. And then the last step in setting boundaries is to communicate to people your boundaries. Communicate to people what your boundary is. whatever it is. Let's go back to Sally. So, Aunt Sally, I am so sorry. I am not going to be able to take you to the Walmart today. However, next Saturday, between 7 and 8, so I can pick you up at 7, and we'll have until 8 o'clock. I can take you, go in, bring you out, bring you back to the house. Yeah, I can take you on next Saturday between 7 and 8. That's what I have in my schedule to do. I love you so much, Aunt Sally. Boundaries, love lines, so that you don't burn out. You have to be committed to taking care of your mind. You have to be committed to taking care of your well-being, your mental health, and your well-being. Nobody else is going to do it for you, my love. There is no fairy princess that's going to come through with a little duster with the wand that's going to take care of your mental health and well-being. No one else is going to do it but you. And so now today, you have the tool to set boundaries. You have a coping skill. The coping skill is setting boundaries. And I've given you the steps to do so. So, I would love for you to put these steps into practice and then leave a comment down there. Tell me, do you have an issue with setting boundaries? Have you ever set boundaries before? Have they worked? Have they not? Then I want you to actually work it, because remember, we're not on here. I'm not on here just talking to you and then you do nothing with this. Like, I really want you to make this stuff work. You have to work it in order for it to work in your life. You got to work what I'm giving you, my loves, in order for it to create a shift in your life. Today, the skill is setting boundaries, and it's going to enhance your quality of life. But I want to hear about it. So when I'm saying comments, you can put comments down under the podcast. You can put comments under the YouTube page, but you can also put comments on my social media. So remember, everybody, you can put comments on my social media. So the podcast social media handle is Mental Health is a Lifestyle Pod. That's what you're going to find spelled out. And then my personal social media handle is A Wise Brown. AWISEBROWN. So you can put comments down there. And like I said, on the YouTube page. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all already know. If you have any questions, you have any questions, you want to leave a comment, you can also email the podcast at MHIAL All right. So at gmail.com. I do believe that's how you're supposed to say it. MHIAL podcast at gmail.com. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast again today. I am so excited for you to get out in the world and for you to exercise the skill discussed today. Okay? Use a bad mama jamma or bad brother. All right? And I want you to exercise all of this because you are worth it. You have to commit to taking care of you. All right, guys. So I love you long time, and I cannot wait to see you or talk to you again on the next episode of the Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast with your girl, Andrea Wise Brown.